Welcome back to the 57th International Biel Chess Festival, and I am excited to be joined by Liem Le, the hat-trick winner of the Biel Chess Festival Masters Edition. Congratulations!
Thank you very much.
How do you feel yourself now?
Yeah, I'm extremely happy with the game today. Before the game, I could be happy with a draw as well, but to be able to win such a nice game in a very technical manner, and also with this victory, I win the festival with one draw to spare. So that's a very nice thing because in the last 2 years, it was still very
It was tense
yeah, very
till the
tense in the
last
last round.
round.
Yes. So it's really nice that I make it with one draw to spare this time.
But even at the beginning of the tournament, you were very ambitious. I remember at the opening ceremony, I asked you, something about your life, what you're doing, because you're not playing that much, and you're saying you're happy to be back at Biel and you would love to come next time, would love to win it. You were so ambitious.
Well, I was half joking at the time, actually.
Half joking, but you made it.
Well, I always try to play my best, but it's hard to say how the tournament could go from the beginning. But I like playing here, and I always want to win. Yeah.
So maybe let's go and dive into the game you played today with the black pieces against Pragnananda. Your very important win, of course, to become a champion this year as well. So you prepared that he's going to play e4 because we've seen some Petrov you played already with Pragg.
Yeah, I had one game against Pragg in the Rapid. I played Petrov, and that was maybe the first time in maybe 10 years that I played a Petrov. So I guess he prepared that a little bit, but that was my trick to play it in the Rapid, so he could spend some time to prepare, and then I go back to my normal stuff. And I'm sure he was trying to get a game here, and because normally he plays e4 when he wants to win, and he plays some more solid openings when he wants a draw.
So you played Berlin?
Yeah, I mean, I expected this opening. He played this queen e2 also in the candidates earlier this year, so I looked at this line a little bit, and yeah, I didn't know the line so well, but I thought in general black should be okay. Yeah, I think b6 a5 is a typical idea because black shouldn't commit to castling too early, because if you castle short, then maybe white will try some g4 ideas, and like king h1, g4, it can be dangerous. So I decided to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, and in many cases, black can also castle long. For example, if white goes like a4, I look at that move actually, a4, bishop a6, something like this, knight e3, g6, and then you can castle long. And the black king is relatively safe there. So also bishop e3, I looked at that move, and I think bishop a6 is still the best move. Or f6, maybe f6. Sorry, yeah. F6.
So f6.
Yeah. So if bishop c5, then you take with the knight,
can take with the
and
knight,
then you try to put the knight on e6, and it's in general equal. But I didn't look at the move a3. I think that was. He was still in his prep here, so I was a little worried at this point. I didn't know what to do, but I thought, okay, let's continue with my plan, bishop a6.
There was sometimes some ideas, to b4 with bishop g5.
Yeah, I had to calculate some b4. After bishop a6, I think b4 was a possibility. AB, bishop b4, bishop b2, and then I think f6 has to be played, and then c3. We were actually discussing this line after the game, bishop d6, and then d4. And now white is threatening knight takes d6, and if black castles, then there's rook takes a6.
Oh, very beautiful. Yeah.
But yes, but black has a move there. Instead of castling, there's bishop b7, and probably black is okay. Take, rook a1, castle, and I think black should be okay here. But I wasn't sure. So anyway,
it was not clear, yes.
Yeah. So he played knight e3, typical move, g6, and here I was okay. I think black is very solid here.
So what was this move for rook e1? Because it was a little bit mysterious to us.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Maybe he just wanted to stop f5, because sometimes black has ideas like f5, ef, e4. So he wanted to stop ideas like that. And also he wanted to wait for me to castle, because now if I castle long, there's b4, And if I castle sharp, there's some knight g4. And in general, the black king can be then in danger in the king side. So I try
So
to
you had
play.
to also
Yeah.
wait a little bit?
Yeah.
Should
Also,
this-
if I play a4, then he can go b4 also. And a b c
Ah,
b, and it's
and
very
then
unclear
before,
here. Yeah,
okay.
before bishop b2. So I had to wait a little bit with bishop b6, and also the idea is to put the knight on c5 and e6. So yeah, queen d2 is interesting. He wants d4 clearly. So now again, if I go long castle, there's b4, and I didn't like that
Oh,
so
and
much.
he's opening up.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to.
So you wanted to stop those ideas?
Yeah. So I
First
wanted
playing
to stop that
a4.
with a4.
Mhm.
Queen c3 looks logical. Bishop b7. Now, if he doesn't play d4, then I go c5, and he never gets d4 again. So he has to try d4 here.
Mhm. According to computer, it was a mistake, so it's saying that it
Yeah.
should allow you to play c5. Also, okay, how happened in the game that you got on this d file? Maybe it was.
Right.
But
I
what
think,
else if not
yeah,
d4?
if not d4, then probably you have to play something like knight c4, then c5. And okay, it's a typical Berlin. Black is very solid.
Mhm.
White maybe just very tiny bit better, but it's not a lot here. And
Mhm.
eventually black will castle probably short, but I don't have to commit to that yet.
Yeah,
I
because
can
everything
even,
is
yeah,
close so far.
yeah. I can even try to castle long and play like f6, g5, or leave the king
Mm.
there for a while. So,
Mhm.
so yeah, I think d4 was very logical. So I
Mhm.
castle long.
Have you considered taking and then castling, or like how?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. So ed, queen d4.
Mhm.
Um, now I wasn't sure. Castle long, right?
Mhm.
Castle long. This is a transposition to the game, I guess. Knight
Ah,
c4.
actually, yes.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, in the game I castle immediately knight c4, ed. Yeah.
So basically the
He
same
could have
position.
also played knight take d6 instead of queen d4.
Instead of queen d4.
Yeah, knight d6, queen d6, and then knight takes d4, I
Oh,
guess.
knight takes. Mhm.
And then I wanted queen c5, trading the queens,
Hmm.
and okay, black should be safe here. It's an equal position. But yeah,
I mean, there are
so
4 against 3 on the king side, 4
yeah,
against 3 on the queen side.
an opposite color bishop, so
Mhm.
should be relatively equal. Yeah, queen d4, very ambitious. Bishop c5, queen c3.
Also, of
So
course, considering the position of the Fragnananda in the
yeah,
tournament, he had
he
to
had to win.
try.
Yeah, he had to win. So it's logical that he tried to keep things complicated.
Mhm.
Um, so bishop a6. Yeah, I played this move because I was a bit worried about b4. If I play some slow move, for example, if I play like rook h e8, then he can go b4, a b c b, and now again he's threatening b4. So it can get a bit unpleasant here.
Yeah, and bishop is getting trapped
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah.
Mhm.
So bishop a6, and my idea was if b4, then I would go queen e6.
Oh, you're
And
counter-attacking.
yeah, I'm not sure if that is the best move, but it looks interesting to me. If the knight moves somewhere, then I go bishop e7. Let's say yeah, knight e3, bishop e7, and I have counterplay with bishop f6 and so on. So he played bishop e3. Yeah, but this move, I think after this move, I should be fine. Because yeah, what happened in the game was very logical for me. Trade the bishops and then the queens.
Mhm.
And here there was a line that he told me after the game that he initially wanted queen b4 here
Here?
instead of rook
Ah,
e1.
sorry, still forget.
Yeah,
Mhm.
queen b4. But then he saw queen takes c2, rook c3, c5, and black is okay.
Oh, we have this intermezzo.
Yeah, yeah. Without c5, black would be losing, but black is okay here. So rook e1. Yeah, here I was already very happy with my position because this looks like a very good Berlin endgame. Like,
Mhm.
if you play Berlin with black, you are generally getting this
Yes.
structure 4 against 3 on the queen side. And now your king already castle, you connect your rook, so it's a great version of the Berlin. So okay, queen c3, c5. Yeah. After that, I think it's already slightly unpleasant for white. Because his knights are not getting anywhere
Yeah, there's no
close. Yeah.
coordination there.
Yes. So h3, yeah. Yeah, I play rook e7, kind of a waiting move.
Mhm.
Um, I wanted also knight b8 or knight f8, but I wasn't sure where to go. So I
You
make
didn't
a
know which direction.
yeah, I made a useful waiting move
So
first.
you wanted to
Also
go at some moment to
to
d4, but
d4,
didn't know
yeah,
from c6 or
on
e6.
e6, yeah, yeah. And here I think g4 was maybe the wrong move because it weakens the f4 square. I
Yes.
mean, it doesn't look too much, but in the game it was a big problem for him. Maybe he should have played like king h2, and then if I go knight f8, then maybe e5, and trying to put the knight on e4. I mean, I wasn't worried about black position here, but I think,
Knight here?
yeah, knight e6, knight e4, probably knight d4.
Yeah,
Knight
but still it's
yeah,
some
it's still a
play
game,
on
yeah,
the king side for
yeah,
him.
knight f6, yeah. So anyway, he played g4, and I think this move is a bit weakening because now I have the f4 square, so I play knight f8. Um, he played king g2, yeah, knight e6, king g3, f6, yeah. This is very important because if I play knight d4 first, then he has knight takes d4, rook takes d4, knight f3, rook e4, either rook,
Yes.
yeah, take, and then knight g5. And white has some counterplay here. And it can be very risky for black also. So I play f6 first to control the g5 square. Also, I wanted to stop e5. Because if white goes e5 here, then I would go f5. And this structure is very bad for white because your pieces have nowhere to go, and then black can also try to attack on the king side with rook f8 and bishop b7. And in general, white's king is very weak, so this is bad. So I think here h4 is not the best move. Maybe he had to play knight f1. I was thinking that move.
Yes, already getting ready for this knight
Yeah,
d4.
yeah. But at least knight e4 here, he can take, and he's not losing the pawn.
Yes, so
Yeah,
here can
f3.
protect, or f3,
Yeah,
yes,
f3,
actually.
yeah. I mean, it still doesn't look great for white, but white
There
is
are
maybe
always
not,
also
not
some
losing.
f5s.
Yeah, always some f5 ideas. But white is maybe not losing a pawn. So h4, I think he missed knight d4, and now there's a big problem for white because
Yes.
he loses the pawn.
Yeah, he cannot do
basically.
anything because knight e2.
Yeah, maybe king g2 was the better defense. I was thinking bishop b7 here, threatening knight takes f3.
And take on e4.
And yeah, and if knight d4, rook d4, and rook d3, I was thinking, but okay, this should be win. Yeah, bishop e4. Yeah, black is winning a pawn. Yeah, so this is also very good for black. So yeah, he gave up the pawn, and he was hoping for the fortress in this endgame.
Yes, at first it will look not
Yeah,
so clear at all.
It looks like white almost got a fortress, but here this is also important that he has to move the knight immediately because if he got g5,
If he manages to play
yeah,
this,
if he managed to play g5 without allowing the pawn endgame, then he would have serious drawing chances. But the problem with g5 is that I take on f3, king f3, king d7, king f4, king e6, e4, and then I just go king f7 back, king g7, and then I go h6, and I will create a pass pawn there.
Oh, and there will be outside
yeah,
pass pawn.
yeah, and this is lost for white.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so he had to move the knight, and now I have to play g5. Otherwise, he would go g5 himself, and he would be able to.
Yeah, you had
yeah.
to.
So I have to play g5.
You had to fix the pawn on g4.
Yeah. And now, yeah, for white, it looks like black has nowhere to attack because the knight on d2 controls all the important squares. But I think I found a correct plan to win for black there. So first of all, I provoke c3. I force him to play c3. And then, yeah, I put the bishop on d1. That's what happened eventually.
Yes, the bishop went to d1.
Yeah, and then I play h5. Yeah. And I think this must be winning for black. But, okay, keep going. Yeah, take. Yeah, so the best square for the bishop is on d3 because it controls the knight. The knight has nowhere to go. And then I also saw that the key position is what happened in the game with the pawn on g4, king on g5, king on g3, with white to move. Because if it's kind of a mutual Suswan position. So that's why I had to go king g6, king h5 to
Yes,
force him
you
to
had.
play king g3, and then I went king g5. Yeah, so here white has to move a pawn,
Yeah,
allowing my king
one
to
of the
go.
pawns.
Yeah. So
We
I
were
think
looking more at the
b3.
b3,
Yeah,
trying
I
b3.
thought about that too. A b, knight b3. Let's say I don't know, king f5, knight d2 back. Um,
Maybe
bishop.
bishop e2.
Yeah. Well, bishop e2. There's king f2. So probably. Um, yeah, I'm not so sure what I would have done here.
Hmm, I don't know. I remember that we were looking at this position somehow.
Yeah, king f2, maybe bring the bishop back to e6, bishop b5, let's say.
Bishop
b5.
b5.
Yeah, king g3, bishop d7, and then I try to
Ah,
bring
and
the
then
king to a4.
yes,
Go on the
now
way there. Yeah.
because your
So
problem was this pawn on a4, which was
yeah,
standing there, and if you don't
yes,
have it, you can
yes.
bring.
So I think with correct play, probably black should win this in the long run.
Mhm.
Yeah, but after e4, then he doesn't have the f4 square anymore, and after bishop c2, yeah, I think this is lost for
Yeah,
white.
it's already
Yeah,
getting to the
he's
flank.
losing e5 eventually, and
Yes.
otherwise he has to allow my king to go to
Yes.
the queen side.
And here you didn't even go for this. You
Yeah.
immediately said, okay, I calculated
Yeah,
everything. It's
yeah,
winning, and
yeah. I think it's not necessary to complicate things, and I saw there are multiple ways to win this endgame. Yeah.
thank you so much for showing us some analysis from this game. Lim, there are still some questions from the audience to you. So, Clumsy One's question asks, you achieve your personal best rating after winning this game. So right now you are at 2,741.6
Okay.
after this victory. Will you play for a win with a black tomorrow in order to break the record in your feeder rating?
Yeah, I'm not really thinking about tomorrow right now, but I guess I would just play and enjoy the game tomorrow. Whatever happens will happen. Last year, after the Biel festival, last year I achieved my personal best, which was 2740 last year, and now my live rating is 2741.6. So I guess if I win tomorrow, that would be really great. But with black, I mean, it's not
Yeah,
really up to
so
me, so we will see what happens.
and also Ike is a very solid
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
So there is a question: how did you remain focused throughout the entire tournament by Asia?
Um, yeah, I think I just really like playing here, and I
Mhm.
really enjoy the games. All my games were, I should say, most of my games are very fighting, except the two quick draws. But there were not much I could do in these games. But in general, I like fighting chess, and there are lots of interesting variations that should that I had to calculate. So I try to remain focused for that. Yeah.
And the other question by Fem Min, what do you think you are better at, attacking or defending?
I don't know. In general, I think attacking is always easier because it's more fun, and also psychologically defending is a more difficult task. But I think my strength is more like in technical positions, like you see the game today, and also the game against Shanglan and
Chimeras.
Kaimer also. Yeah, like in these type of positions, I really like to play, and I feel like I see a lot of things, a lot of interesting lines there. So that's probably my main strength in technical position.
I mean, there is still one more game tomorrow, but so far, how do you feel? What was your favorite game of this tournament this year?
It's hard to say. So I have 3 wins here so far, on with the black pieces and on very technical games. I would say probably this one is my favorite so far because there are so many subtleties, so many little things strategically in the middle game as well, and I really enjoy playing this game.
How special for you is the Bill Chess Festival, coming here a third time and winning for the third time?
Yeah, yeah, it's really special. Someone told me that only one player in the history of Bill achieved 3
I think
victories in a row.
4 wins were by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, but they were also in a different
Right.
different
I think
formats.
he did, yeah, different formats.
There
And
was no triathlon.
yes, yes. And I think he achieved 3 wins in a row from
Yes.
2013 to 15. And then the last one was like 17 or something. So that would be really nice if I can break that record next year. But I mean, I'm very pleased so far, especially with the win today against the world number 8 and with the black pieces in a very crucial game. So I will just enjoy the game today, have a good dinner, and I'll think about the game tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Liam, for joining us, and we wish you best of luck for
Thank you.
tomorrow's final game. Just relax, have a nice dinner, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.